There. Plenty of headroom in the back. All right. We're back with the latest version of the Ferr and Ticka show.
Ticka?
How you doing?
Doing great.
Welcome, everybody. I'm wondering where we are. We're outside today. Not just outside, but we're in the old neighborhood. We've talked about it a few times, and we decided to, like we promised, to go out on the road. We're particularly in Steve's part of the neighborhood. We all had different parts. Steve's in the lower Chuckstone, end of Chuckstone and Providence, Manton Avenue. Right in Steve's, literally in his front yard, right down the street. We'll go down a little bit closer, but this was a playground when we were kids, and it's still a playground now. Right behind us is where we pulled up is what used to be one of our favorite places to play basketball.
It certainly has changed. The basket's not there any longer. They actually made a whole driveway here. I guess they do some electrical work on and off here with the lights I see. But
the park looks pretty good, though.
Well, it wasn't like that in the beginning. All that sand wasn't there. The swings weren't there. The rope apparatus certainly wasn't there.
We'll go down to show you a little more stuff, and particularly the Steve's childhood home, which is
before that, huh?
Why he was king of this playground.
It was.
All right, let's go take a look.
Let's take a look.
Right, go ahead.
Good afternoon. It is October 17th, and by coincidence, we're at the Louis Viscolosi Memorial Tot Park here off Chuckstone Avenue in Providence, Rhode Island. I moved into 1668 Chuckstone Avenue I was 11 years old. This, of course, was not here. This came in 1965. I spent a lot of time in this park. It was right across the street. And at the time, the city of Providence used to send a recreation person over with a car, and that person would come over with games, checkers, board games, and activities for you to make and do, and also free lunches. So one of the things that was very popular was a non-hockey board. So it was a board like a hockey, and then you had two sticks, and you would hit the puck into in each end's hole, and et cetera, et cetera. The cool thing about it is when the park recreation person left, I would take the non-hockey board across the street to that house there at 1668 Chuckstone Avenue, where I lived. I lived on the second floor. My bedroom was on the left-hand side.
All right, so we're going for a little ride now as we leave the park. Steve's going to take us down what used to be a basketball court here, and we're going to head out to Chuckstone Avenue, down the road here. We'll by Steve's house and a few other places. Up the road here was a friend of ours, Chanchio's, and Crookie and Chinch and Larry. But this is the park from the street. There's Steve's house over here. That's good. But this was Raleigh Street on the right. Who lived there?
Billy Morrison.
Billy Morrison, Raleigh Street.
Jimmy Blackwood, Mike and Pat Cafferty.
Yeah, we're coming up on...
We just passed Robert and Anthony Piccoli's house.
We're describing friends who used to live. We knew about 1 million people that all lived within a mile of each other. There's Bobby Willis's house here. Bobby, your old place. Here we are, Manton. Stay right here for a second. What do you remember of this place, Steve?
Well, none of this was here. None of it. This was a dump. Literally
out and back there's a Stop and Shop, but used to be a
city dump.
City dump, yeah.
And Ticka used to go there and shoot.
Yeah, I went with somebody and we used to shoot rats.
Yeah. But there was a drugstore, Eddie's Drugstore here.
Well, there was a couple of gas stations over here where we're looking across the street. Willie's over here behind the stop sign, the auto wrecks.
Yeah.
There was the Mobil station was here next to the car dealership.
And there was Billy Payne's ice cream.
Maybe we get out and walk down do a little something down to see if we can park and walk down through Manton Avenue. We'll be back.
I am sitting on the steps very, very close to the elementary school that I went to for 2 grades, the 5th and 6th. Behind me used to be where Manton Avenue School used to be. Brick building, and every grade was in two. So the first and second, third and fourth, and fifth and sixth were in the same room. Pretty small, pretty tight, but everybody knew everyone. Good school. Behind me now, obviously, is a Family Dollar. A couple things I remember about Manton Avenue School is, and Ticka used to do it also, we used to have a ball, a pinky ball. It's a hollow ball, rubber, and we used to throw it off the back of the school. So the school was right about, well, right where that SUV is, that van there. So we'd be behind the school, and we would throw the binky off the wall of the school and get it over that fence, which was there when we were kids. And it was like a baseball game. Over the fence, obviously, was a home run. If it hit the wall, it was whatever. And if it got by you on the ground, it was a single. So we used to do that every day. Off the wall, we called it. And a lot of fun. Across the street, it's a shame that you can't see what it was in a way. Where the Wendy's is, Billy Payne's ice cream. And everybody went there. He was
thrown out.
Until you got thrown out. Every one of us was barred at one time. I was barred. Were you barred, Ticka?
Oh yeah, I remember one of our best friends who goes with us on Thursday nights would feel bad because he'd say to us, "I got to bar you guys because the boss said so."
Yeah.
He was one of us, but he was also one of them because he worked and he had to do it.
So we were always barred from there. A lot of kids worked there when they got older, but he was not a nice man.
Well, you got the newspapers and everything.
Yep, newspapers. That's where the kids got. I got my newspapers. You put them together for newspaper route, and I had a newspaper route up Chuckstone Avenue where I lived. Next door to Payne was Henry Oil. So now we see Wendy's. And behind Wendy's is now Stop and Shop. At one time, that was a complete city dump, literally a dump. And we were conscious of the odors, the smells, the rats, the rodents. And at one time, Ticka used to have an activity.
I used to take him with somebody. We'd take a little BB gun or something and go down the street and shoot the rats. And my father would be mad at, "What do you mean you're shooting rats? There's no rats around." "Oh yeah, Dad, there's rats at the dump."
And I know we talked about before, there was a gas station, Willie's gas station, and Lord, we hung out there a lot.
Pinball.
He had a great pinball machine, and we played the hell out of it. And Eddie's drugstore was next to it, and we would go.
Gone now, just a parking lot.
They're all gone.
That's what the is.
Yep. And then further down from that was. There was a service station, a mobile gas station that was there. But as you can see now, it's all gone. It's all out of here.
Nothing left but our memories.
Nothing but our memories. It actually looks better than it was back in the day. It really was. But it was certainly more neighborhood back in then.
So, all right, we're going up my street, Westcott Avenue. This is where I came when I was probably about 4 or 5 years old. It was a dead-end street. Not a dead-end street. It wasn't a paved street until a couple of years after I got here. A lot of these houses were built after mine. We'll show you my house, stop up at the top, and I can tell you almost everybody that used to live here, but nobody's going to care about who they are now. We'll go by my house and our friend Dave's. Keep going up. Mine was 30, which is coming up here on the right. So that big house, blue one here. That was it right there. My room was in the back. Hi, can we go in and see my old house? This was an empty lot over here. Dave, our friend Dave, lived right over here. So we were across the street from him. Needless to say, we were best friends because we were 15 feet from each other. But this was an empty lot over here before, after, when I was a kid. But I can remember a lot of things about this house. I actually helped my father put some of those, what do you call it? It's up over the doorway there. Let's move on down the street, Steve, and see what else we can see down Westcott. Here's where I would go on my way to school at my Catholic school, not up to West, where Steve went to. All the public school. I had a nice Catholic upbringing, which didn't really help me out much later. I'd walk this way to school every day. We had a couple of friends that were twins. There was Bicky twins lived in this house here. We're not going to miss a lot of people, but Another thing we used to do when we were younger, Steve was at the other end, but we used to hang around. There was a wall over here in front of the church. We used to play football on the side of the church, and at one point, I can remember that ended when somebody kicked a field goal right through one of the stained glass windows over here at the church. Needless to say, it was the end of our football playing next to the church.
But remember, we used to, there was a wall there, like you said.
Yeah, it was a wall right here.
We used to throw snowballs at the buses when they went going by.
We used to throw snowballs from across the street that was Vicky's porch and run in the house.
Yeah.
I got a lot of memories up here. This is my school. This is where I went to elementary school. You went here too?
I went here.
I didn't know that.
I went here from the 1st to the 4th grade.
What happened? Why come you didn't stay?
I don't know. Oh, it says it right on it, by the way.
What? What says it on it, Steve? St. Thomas School. All right, yeah. We all know what it is. I can't zoom into that. How come there's nobody here now? What time is it? Are they out of school?
2:45.
Doesn't look like anybody's here. I was going to say something about the back is the rectory here. Now, this is where we played a lot of This is where I played a lot of my basketball. Now, Steve doesn't believe me on this. I'm going to show you a little thing.
I don't.
Down the street here is right there is my house. I could see from my window all the way up. I'm going to do that again.